On May 31st, 1958, the first Pizza Hut was on the verge of opening. Two brothers, Dan and Frank Carney, found themselves in debt and sought a way out. To seize this opportunity, they borrowed money from their mother, fully aware that their success was crucial. Despite lacking any experience in making pizzas, the brothers were determined to make it work. While their parents owned a grocery store, the Carney brothers had no intention of continuing the family business. Dan was actively seeking a business venture with significant potential, while Frank needed to fund the remainder of his education. Surprisingly, it was an emerging food trend from the East Coast that provided the solution they were looking for. Get ready to embark on a captivating journey, delving into the remarkable tale of Pizza Hut. At that time, both Dan and Frank were actively seeking a solution. The concept they had in mind was relatively unknown to most Americans, as it was primarily popular among Italian communities. However, a family friend informed Dan about the growing popularity of pizza and its potential to conquer America. While Dan had tried pizza a few times before, Frank had only tasted it once. Nonetheless, they both realized that by capitalizing on this emerging trend early on, they could generate substantial profits. The only hurdle they faced was their financial situation. Both brothers were penniless. To kickstart their business, they had to borrow $600 from their mother. They purchased secondhand equipment and converted a small, hut-shaped bar situated next to their family's market into their pizza restaurant. The brothers managed to acquire a free sign from the Coca-Cola company, but it could only accommodate 8 letters, with 5 of them reserved for pizza. Taking inspiration from the distinct shape of the building, they eventually settled on the name Pizza Hut. However, less than a month after their grand opening, the brothers encountered a significant setback. Neither Dan nor Frank possessed the knowledge of making pizza, so they sought the help of a friend who was well-versed in pizza making. This friend agreed to teach them just in time because a mere 2 weeks later, the restaurant was scheduled to open. Their initial menu consisted of cheese and sausage or pepperoni pizzas, with a small pizza priced at 95 cents and a large at $1.50. Everything seemed to be falling into place for the grand opening, but an unforeseen disaster awaited them. The brothers had acquired a used oven from an Italian restaurant, but when they turned it on for the opening, it unexpectedly caught fire. It turned out that a bird's nest had somehow made its way inside one of the vents, causing it to burn and fill the restaurant with smoke and ashes. Dan and Frank had no choice but to postpone the opening and repaint the walls. They worked hastily to rectify the situation. And finally, Pizza Hut opened its doors the following night. After 6 months of successful operations, the brothers ventured into opening a second location, and the company began to experience steady growth. Within a year of its inception, there were already 6 Pizza Hut restaurants in operation. However, Dan and Frank had even greater ambitions. Inspired by a hunch Dan had, they aimed to expand beyond their local area. Consequently, they opened their first franchise location in Topeka, Kansas. By 1966, Pizza Hut had established 145 locations across the United States, and in 1969, the first international Pizza Hut opened in Canada. Yet, with this sudden growth, Dan and Frank started to worry as their competitors began to set their sights on them. They realized that if they weren't careful, they could potentially lose everything they had worked so hard to achieve. In order to distinguish themselves from the competition, the Carney brothers recognized the need to make Pizza Hut instantly recognizable. To achieve this, they enlisted the help of an architect friend. Although the architect's designs were impressive, they exceeded the brothers' budget. To reach a compromise, Dan and Frank offered the architect $100 for each restaurant that utilized his new design. The architect diligently worked on creating an iconic feature for Pizza Hut, which eventually took the form of the recognizable red roof. This design would later become the company's logo. During the same year, Pizza Hut embarked on its international expansion, opening locations in Mexico, Germany, and Australia. Additionally, they celebrated the opening of their 500th restaurant. As a result, Pizza Hut secured its position as the top pizza chain in America and became the undisputed leader of the pizza industry worldwide. 4 years later, another significant change occurred for Pizza Hut when the company was acquired by PepsiCo for a staggering sum of $300 million. At that time, Pizza Hut had amassed sales of $436 million and boasted over 3,400 locations. However, unbeknownst to the brothers, their continued success remained uncertain and hung in the balance. Facing a decline in pizza sales on the East Coast, Pizza Hut realized they needed to take action. Frank Carney, one of the brothers, devised the recipe for the original pan pizza, which would go on to become Pizza Hut's signature item. This new recipe resulted in a pizza that had a crispy outer crust and a soft interior. Although Pizza Hut had grown into the world's largest pizza chain, it was about to enter a competitive pizza war. For many years, Pizza Hut enjoyed its position as the leading pizza chain in the country. However, other chains started to grow and pose a threat to Pizza Hut's sales. Little Caesars attracted customers with its attractive deals, Domino's became known for its speedy service, and Papa John's gained popularity. To maintain their lead, Pizza Hut hired a new head of marketing and adopted a strategy of regularly introducing new menu items every 6 to 8 weeks. These innovative offerings often became staples in the pizza industry. They included pizzas such as barbecue, cheeseburger, veggie, and meat lovers. The introduction of these new products gave Pizza Hut a competitive edge over its rivals, and as a result, it climbed to 4th place in sales among all chain restaurants. Despite the success, Pizza Hut would eventually transition out of the Kearney family's hands, marking a significant change for the company. Shortly after, Pizza Hut introduced a revolutionary creation that would transform the way people enjoyed pizza. By analyzing customer surveys, Pizza Hut identified a common trend. Many individuals did not consume the crust of their pizzas. This observation sparked the idea to develop a crust stuffed with cheese. The concept quickly gained immense popularity, and during a 6-week trial period, the demand was so high that the stuffed crust pizzas sold out within just 4 weeks. Within a year, the introduction of the stuffed crust pizza alone generated over $300 million in sales. Pizza Hut continued to experience significant growth and success over the following decade, expanding its presence to 12,000 locations across 86 countries. During this time, Pizza Hut maintained its innovative approach by continuously launching new menu items. They introduced unique combinations like hot dog stuffed pizza, as well as previously unheard of variations such as Marmite stuffed crust and flying fish roast salmon cream cheese crust. This remarkable journey showcases the story of two brothers who started with limited financial resources and no prior knowledge of the pizza industry, yet went on to establish a pizzeria that eventually became the largest pizza chain in the world. And that's a wrap for today's episode of Business Central. Stay connected with us, like, comment, subscribe to our channel, and click that notification bell so you won't miss a video. Stay inspired, stay informed, and keep making waves in the world of business. See you in the next one.